You're watching the Real News Network. I'm Kim Brown in Baltimore. For decades, many in the island nation of Haiti have lived under impoverished conditions and under dictators who have sought to quell opposition and protest by any means necessary, which sometimes has included violence. On August the 13th, a young organizer with the group called Movement for Liberty and Equality by Haitians for Fraternity, shorthand MOLAGAF, was murdered. His name is Haitian Simeon, and he was 23 years old, and some believe that he was targeted because of his activism and organizing. One of his associates, David Oxygene, says that he was also held at gunpoint and threatened by a man whom police refused to arrest. As a result, David has gone underground, but he is joining us today to detail what has happened to Haitian and how perilous life can be for Haitian activists. Speaking to us from Port-au-Prince, we are joined with David Oxygene. He is a labor and human rights and democracy organizer who currently serves as Secretary General of MOLAGAF. He was also repeatedly harassed and arrested, jailed, and targeted for repression and reprisals by the regime of Michel Martelly from 2011 to February of this year. David, thank you so much for speaking with us.
And I want to say thank you to all of you for holding this interview.
David, tell us about your associate, Haitian Simeon. What was he working on when he was killed?
This is a great opportunity for us to denounce this barbaric assassination. Haitian Simeon was a comrade. He was a founding member of MOLAGAF. He was a militant activist against imperialism and occupation of our country. He was only 23 years old. He was a young worker of the worker class in protection for working class people. So that's basically it about Haitian, who was a young militant member of MOLAGAF.
Oxygene, you say that you were accosted by a man named Jean-Maxime who brandished a gun and threatened you. Was this the same time that Haitian was killed?
Haitian was killed on August 13th near Fort National after a meeting at MOLAGAF. It was also near his house, and the threat against Oxygene came 2 days afterwards.
So David, who do you think is targeting your organization, not only for harassment and for persecution, but who do you think is behind the murder of your comrade, Haitian Simeon?
Thank you for asking this question. It's a beautiful question. First, it's important to talk about MOLAGAF, which is very anti-imperialism, is in support of the working class, and so in that sense, it's a free organization. Because MOLAGAF denounces a fair number of issues, including reste avec, which is child domestic servants. They denounce trafficking. They denounce a host of human rights issues. That there are a lot of people who want to destroy MOLAGAF. So those that are in charge or those that are opposed to MOLAGAF, those that are in charge, are the ones that don't want change. That MOLAGAF is fighting for. The first person that is responsible is police officer Jean-Maxime with the Haitian National Police. He's the one that is responsible for the murder on August 13th, as well as the threats against Oxygene. The second that is responsible is the Haitian government, because they have allowed an occupation that is blocking a revendication of the people, of Haitian people, as well as MOLAGAF. And it's also them who continually renew the UN mandate for MINUSTA peacekeeping troops to remain in the country. The third responsible is the United Nations itself.
And David, so let me ask, two questions. Obviously, there's a lot of information there, but about the police officer who pulled a gun on you and who you say is responsible for the assassination of Haitian, Jean-Maxime. From what I understand, there has been a warrant of some sort issued for his arrest, and I believe that your attorney is has plans to go to another agency of the judiciary to try to get him arrested. Why do you think so far that there has been no arrest made, and do you fear for your life with this man still at large?
Merci encore. Et pour la première question, donc,
Thank you again for this question. The prosecutor has issued an arrest warrant, but before he did that, there were two summons that that the prosecutor sent for him to appear. And the first date was on August 25th. The second date was on August 29th. He did not show up to either of those dates. And so the prosecutor has now issued an arrest warrant for him. The fact, though, that he has not been served with that order or has not been arrested shows that the government's inability to act. It demonstrates the big problem with the police, that their resistance to carrying this out, and that they're closed to justice and protective. In terms of my life, do I fear for my life? Yes. I don't live with my family. I don't live in my home. I don't live with my family. My family is divided. My wife and children live elsewhere. It's a dangerous situation. It's very crucial right now. I can't walk in the street or circulate around. That is why I'm asking for solidarity for Molegaf, for my family, and for me. There are armed men. He is armed with other bandits who are armed. They're near my house, and they're there to make me scared, to scare me. So yes, I am scared. When I feel like doing something, there's very little I can do. I'm just trying to work with Molegaf.
David, when you talk about the occupation of Haiti by the United Nations, are you speaking of when the UN came to the country after the devastating earthquake in 2010? Because we know that the United Nations has engaged in peacekeeping missions in Haiti prior to that. So are you referring to a long-term stay beyond 2010 of the United Nations of Haiti, or is this something that began after the earthquake?
When Molegaf talks about the occupation, we talk about it in a 101-year occupation. It started in 1915 to 1934 when the United States occupied Haiti. The second one was from 1991 to 1994 with the coup d'etat against former President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. And the third phase was in 2004 with the second coup d'etat against President Jean-Bertrand Aristide until the present. That occupation is continuing and still exists.
So David, you have to tell everybody, because most people view the United Nations and their peacekeeping missions as something that is benevolent, as something that is helping people, but that's obviously not how you and those members of Molegaf view the UN. So tell everybody what the United Nations is doing to oppress people in your country.
Déjà, on peut dire donc la présence d'une force.
Its presence is a flagrant violation of the Constitution and any legal framework. Its presence is not recognized under the Haitian Constitution, which provides for which is against an army. Secondly, its presence makes everyone scared. They violate people's rights. They steal things. They introduced cholera to the country. They have massacred people, especially in sort of popular neighborhoods. Their military, they are the military arm of the government, of the Haitian government. They've been used to block workers when they try to vindicate their rights. They bring misery, exclusion. They're there to stabilize the country, but they have not done that. Instead, they bring exploitation. They are the strategy for big imperialistic countries to suppress workers' rights and others.
So, David, are Haitians going to be able to enact change within your country? If you're saying that your nation is occupied by the United Nations and that the government is enabling this occupation, then what are average citizens? What are people like yourself? What are people who are in Molagaf and support Molagaf? How are they able to get any sort of recourse or enact any change from the everyday life that you're experiencing right now?
With the presence of MINUSTA in this third phase of occupation from 2004 to the present, we've had governments that are anti-people, what he calls reste avec. It's also what they refer to as domestic servants as reste avec, to stay close. In terms of a solution, we haven't found a solution. The government that is under the control of U.S. imperialism. There is a defense league of organizations that don't want the presence of the UN, the U.S. imperialists. It's progressive organizations, and we're fighting against that. This is a permanent movement, a long-term struggle. So how do you change this? How do you resolve this issue? Haitians themselves must work to transform Haitian society, to work against exploitation, domination, the force of imperialism, and those that are opposed to the fight for Haitian people, for their betterment. So it must be a permanent struggle, a movement that we're all working towards.
And this is our last question for David. You know, David, people are hearing your plight and hearing about the assassination of Haitian Simeon. For those in the United States and around the world who want to help Molagaf, who want to see justice come for your fallen comrade and for the Haitian people at large, what can those outside of Haiti do to stand in solidarity with your movement?
Merci pour cette question. Merci pour cette question. D'abord, cette interview est déjà une solidarité.
Thank you for this question. Already this interview is solidarity. Giving the word to Molagaf at this time is important, but it goes much larger than this interview. Solidarity goes much larger than this interview. We know that Molagaf cannot stay isolated or alone. We need the solidarity of the global community. As Karl Marx said, the workers of the entire world must unite. And so that's what we need. There's three types of solidarity. One is solidarity with the organization, like Molagaf. So thank you. The second type of solidarity is to denounce what's happened, is for folks to join us in denouncing what is happening. The third one is economic, financial, infrastructural solidarity that they need. So what he said was, I demand global solidarity for folks to join the fight. Solidarity is stronger than a gun. I welcome all types of solidarity at all levels, in particular for the family of David Chin in denouncing his assassination, as well as the economic crisis that's going on in Haiti.
We've been speaking with David Oxygene. He is the Secretary General for Molagaf, the Movement for Liberty and Equality by Haitians for Fraternity. They seek to organize workers for better wages and working conditions and the struggles for national sovereignty and the withdrawal of the United Nations occupation troops from Haiti. He's been talking to us from an undisclosed location in Haiti because his life has been threatened. David, we certainly appreciate your time in speaking with us and sharing these very important issues about your nation. Thank you.
C'est à moi de vous dire un grand merci.
I'd like to thank you. It's me who thanks you. because you have left time for, you've allotted time for Molegaf to explain this crucial situation of assassination, attempted assassination, occupation, and exploitation. And so I am the primary leader within Molegaf right now. So on behalf of me, thank you for this interview.
You have been watching the Real News Network.